Jacqui Ashley here, and I want to talk about working from home and with balance. So how can we maintain a work and life balance while working at home? Now, some of you may have children, young children. Some of you may be, working for someone and currently have a new work environment where you get to work from home and split from work in the office and home. And some of you may be completely working from home and you may have several businesses or one business that you're looking after. So I'm going to give you some tips today that's going to help you create and maintain a more balance between work and life. So the first one I want to talk about is separating your work space from the rest of the house. So choosing a space that's going to allow you to be productive, somewhere ideally that is clutter free, ideally not in the kitchen. Because what I find is, and through my own experience, is sometimes when you're working in the kitchen, all you do is just end up going into the pantry there for snacks, etc. Have some snacks with you when you need to. And of course, water is really, really important. But finding a workspace that is going to allow you to feel productive as well. So it's really, really important that you find somewhere that is not in your own room if you can, because when you're in your room, it's a different environment. It's like a sleep. You feel relaxed and everything. And when you mix work with sleep, it's really hard to separate that. So you might find it really, really difficult to go to sleep at night. So find a workspace, and preferably not in your room. If you're living in an apartment or one bedroom apartment, find somewhere maybe in the lounge, somewhere near there, ideally near a window, somewhere that requires you a nice kind of open, airy space. Now, the second tip I want to talk about is creating a schedule. Okay, make sure you create a schedule and put it in your calendar and stick to it. Because especially when we're working from home, we also get caught up with not just for work, but other things that we might want to do at home. That could be doing the laundry, that could be, taking the dog out for a quick toilet, if you have pets, or it could be, doing something. Because when you're at home, you might get distracted quite easily with everything around you. You might find something else to do. So when you create a schedule within your calendar and separate it, like you may do, say between this time to this time, focus on work. And then after this, what you can do is do your laundry in the morning, put the laundry in the morning, schedule for your laundry to put the laundry in the morning, and then leave that and then go to work, and then schedule a time within your work to do this type of work or this type of task as well. So it's really, really important, one, also to prioritize what task is really, really important and schedule in your calendar, because you can't fit everything in one day. Okay, not possible. We've always got something to work on. So prioritize your tasks. Prioritize to now, later, and even sometime later, which is not urgent. So urgent tasks today, and then you might have another one which is this week, and then another one where it's sometime later. Now, where we're talking about productivity, there is it's called a technique, the Pomodoro technique by Francesco Cirillo, who designed this time management technique in the late 1980s. Now, what this technique is really about is having a break for every 25 minutes. So what I have been using, which I found quite effective, is inspired by this technique. But rather than doing 25 minutes, I cut it down between 15 to 20 minutes. because between 15 and 20 minutes, that's just enough time for you to really focus on that particular time, that work. And then what you do is after that 15 minutes, is ideally 15 minutes even great. I know for some people they find it a bit short, so between 15 to 20 minutes. And then after you put a timer on your phone, so set a timer on your phone for 15 to 20 minutes, then focus on that task. And what you do is after that timer goes on, for 1 minute, you take a break, get a drink of water or grab something, a snack. And this is the other thing that we do is a breathing technique, which you breathe in, hold it for a couple of seconds and breathe out. So your out breath is much more deeper. We're trying to connect, build up more oxygen as well. And by doing that, what happens is that helps to our brain to kind of reset itself and then allow it to then refocus. So if you're interested, have a look in the Pomodoro technique. If otherwise, please connect with me to find out a bit more information about productivity, and I can help you with that. The third tip is creating habits that's going to help you, routines, habits or routines, good habits. So something like I do is meditation in the morning. Every morning I do a meditation. I write in my journal, I write down what my goals are. So I set my goals for each day, right, of what I need to do. And I do a meditation every morning and a gratitude, because it puts you in a state where it allows you to improve your energy level, because where your focus is where your energy flows to, right? And sometimes when we spend too much time, there's that mental and physical energy, right, that we exert. So if you want that more balance, it's really, really important to block in the time for meditation, because that helps you, one, to really connect with yourself, allows you more focus. Also, meditation is proven to also decrease your cortisol level and decrease stress level by 20%. And so exercise is really, really important too. I really recommend that you put that in your schedule every single day, because what exercise does is that it connects us with our different hormones, the endorphins, the happy hormones. And these happy hormones also keeps us at a great state as well, feeling state. Now, the other thing that I recommend, the next tip I recommend, is using tools that's going to help you to manage your day. So things like the calendar, Google Calendar, I use every single day. I also use a productivity tool that outlines all my tasks, so I can prioritize the different tasks. If you're communicating with people at work, then you might have a chat or a productivity tool that you might use to communicate and work. If you have your own businesses and you have your colleagues or team and your team that you like to communicate, use something like Slack, which you can communicate with them as well. So productivity tools, there's Asana, there's a new one called ClickUp, there's probably Monday, Basecamp. Have a look at the productivity tools and see which one you might be more suitable for yourself, and then stick to that as well. Now, the other thing is, when you have a break, have a proper break. Meaning, if you organize a lunch break, organize a proper lunch break. So you can set this as part of your routine as well. A 20-minute lunch break or 30-minute lunch break. This is where you have your lunch, but not have your phone there and eating your lunch while checking on your phone. Because again, you're still stimulating that part of your brain and not allowing your brain to kind of rest. You want it to set yourself so you can be more productive, So have a break, have lunch. Then after lunch, if you're working from home, go out for a walk. One, it's great to get some fresh air out there, you know, and you can enjoy it. It doesn't have to be a long walk. It could be like a 10-minute walk just around the block, you know, and you're taking in the fresh air, which again help with that the oxygen into the brains, allows you to reset as well. So reset your brain, and it breaks the state that you're currently in. So you can come back and be even more focused with what you're doing. And then the seventh tip is set boundaries of when you finish work or when you finish work. Because the hardest thing with working from home is that sometimes we get so caught up for work. And, you know, I do this from time to time, is that we forget to switch off. And, you know, it gets to the point where we're working like from 7 o'clock in the morning to like 10 o'clock in the evening, and it isn't productive, right? So, you know, sometimes less is more. Really set a time where you can just say, right, I'm going to work between this time and this time. Schedule in, everything needs to be scheduled. And then after this, my finish time, say, be like, if you're working for someone and your normal finish time might be 5 p.m., then you schedule in 5 p.m. Just make sure that you have what you need done by then, and then learn and be disciplined enough to just leave work at work, which is in your laptop, wherever you are, right? So then you can then spend time on yourself. Scheduling me time is the next tip, which is so, so important, because really it's giving you a bit of a break as well. You'll want to, you know, heal yourself. You want to be able to re-energize yourself and get ready for the next day. And when you're working so hard, when you're working long hours, not being productive, you lose that energy level, and that's when overwhelming and burnout kicks in. So really take the time to say, right, I finish work at say 5 o'clock. After 5 o'clock, especially with those who have children, who have your own children, and especially young ones. I have a 9-year-old and 2-year-old, and sometimes it gets really, really difficult, but it's really, really important that you also have time to focus working on other areas in your life and not just your work, and that is your family. So making sure that you completely you know, when you're spending time with your family, you spend time with them. You know, the evening that you assign time with the family, and then me time for yourself. This me time is for you to reset, reevaluate the day, reflect on the day, and then get ready for the next day so that your next day can be productive. What I like to do is add a morning routine and an evening routine. And part of my evening routine is doing some visualization work, meditation, and just journaling. And that primes my brain for what I want to create for the next tomorrow and the week on. And that's where you get more productive results by doing that. Okay. So there you go, my 8 tips. And if you need any help with anything, you have any questions regards to work-life balance, let me know. I have experience and have created a system where it has worked really, really well for me. I've got basically 3 projects that I'm working on, 2 businesses, you know, 2 to 3, or actually 2 businesses and a consulting role that I'm also with. So I know I have created a system that has allowed me to work very, very efficiently. I need to, right? Because I'm working on so many different projects. But for some of you, you know, if you need that extra help in creating a more system to help you, then feel free to connect with me, and I'll be able to go through it with you and give you some tips or design something especially for you. Okay, thank you.